All right, Libra. This is going to be for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, anywhere in your chart. Now, Libra. You can be off balance for it. All right, Libra. So I was picking up on your energy. You could be dealing with somebody that thinks, or maybe they feel like you're not aware of what they were doing behind your back or what they are doing still behind your back. This could be a person that all of a sudden doesn't come around, or maybe you pulled back your energy and you became more selective. They could have reached out to you and, text you maybe to feel your energy. How do you feel towards them? But for a lot of you Libras, I don't think you're worried about what they did in the past, because for some of them, I don't think they have the courage to come and tell you, hey, let me apologize. This is what I was doing. See, they maybe they only want to tell you, they don't want to tell you, in other words, more than what you might not know. But look, not today. And this could be your energy. You could be like, no me importa, doesn't matter. Some of you guys could be focusing on your purpose, your energy, your life, your healing. And it says right here, haters are coming to come into and go out of your life more than you will likely be fucking comfortable with. Maybe I read it wrong. I have to read it again. Te digo que I don't know how to read that well. It says right here, haters are coming to come. Should have said, maybe it's a misprint, but haters are going to come in and out of your life more than you will likely be fucking comfortable with. It's like, in the past, you could have been feeling like a little bit of tension. You could have had trust issues, like, oh my God, this person's going to betray me, or they're going to lie to me. It's almost like you're telling yourself, why, God? And you feel like cursed, but you're getting into this energy where you're like, you know what? Vámonos a la chingada. And you know what? It says right here, but you can choose how you allow them to affect you. Settle for their shit and you will end up at rock bottom. You've already experienced that. You got the t-shirt, like they say, you got the t-shirt. Somebody has your t-shirt. It says, and rise above it. And you activate your fucking superpower, which will you choose? And I feel like, look, you're going to get a shot of tequila. Keep the fucking lemons away from the tequila. And you could, in other words, it's not going to phase you. Maybe in the past you did. You let it affect you and you would be all pissed off, but I don't think it's phasing you, and they're noticing, and that's why they want to come in. Do they know everything that I did to Libra? Maybe you do, and what could be intimidating them, Libra, is that you're so unfazed. You saw this. Look, I don't know which one you are, Libra, but for some of you guys, you have somebody that maybe there's somebody you're chilling with, and they could be totally opposite from you. And for some of you guys, I'm picking up like you're reinventing yourself. And you could be getting this opportunity to completely change your whole life, your identity. And maybe you didn't think it was possible. I know when, like in my case, when I told them, hey, God came, or Jesus came to me, they were like, Jesús vino. ¿Cuál Jesús? El de tu tío allá del panteón over there in el rancho? No, Jesús, like Jesus. And they laughed. So you could have been in this energy, and you know what? If you have the opportunity to redo your life, especially if you were really, they say you had just this crazy life. Like they said, just say, look, you could have been in your whole phase, and you felt like love. You had daddy issues, papi issues, and this could be man or female. There's an insecurity behind it. Now, for some of you guys, it wasn't that bad, but for a lot of you guys, damn. But we ain't judging on this channel. And you shouldn't worry about it. Because if they're worried about that person isn't right for you. Now, for some of you guys, You're like this close. They said like this close because you're on the edge and you've been thinking about, and some of you guys might have made a list. I'm going to fuck all these people just to piss them off. And maybe they know them, but you don't got to go to that level. You're not hurting them. You're hurting yourself. And for some of you guys, you could feel guilty. Maybe you did and you pull back. And you're asking God for forgiveness and God will forgive you. If somebody else does it, well, you can't do nothing about it. Forgive yourself and move on. And don't do that. And for the ones that, if you have friends or family that are telling you to get over them, you got to get under somebody else, they ain't your friend. They don't have good intentions. Because some of you guys, you have the ability to have reconciliation. I don't know if you want that or not. Everybody's story is going to be different. But if you want that ability, like don't do things just out of impulse. Think. Because remember, you're the one that's creating the damage when you take, like if you seek revenge, you're hurting yourself. It says right here, look, you are bold, beautiful, and brilliant. And in Spanish, you could be somebody que no tienes pelos en la lengua. Unless andas bajando el post, pues es otra cosa, pero you're bold, you're beautiful, and you could have been dealing with somebody that really affected your insecurities. And it could have triggered you. Life treated you like a mother. You know what? It says you are worthy of respect and acceptance. And you know, a lot of people, whether it was that or something else, you could have had other people saying, "Oh, you can't change. Once, you went to jail, you went to prison, or you did these things." People change. That's the old version of yourself. And I feel like a lot of you guys are stepping into this, and maybe you had a phase where you stayed quiet. You didn't know your throat chakra, could have been blocked. And you could have wondered, like, what the hell? You couldn't. And this was for you to feel some kind of pain. That was part of your karma. And for a lot of you guys, you got to look at things from a higher perspective. Because right away, no, is it, the devil. No. God is teaching you how to be patient. Because look, you are your own fucking advocate. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. A person that's got to gather a whole bunch of people, they have issues. I would say a different word, but we don't want to be judgmental, especially with these transits y que todas las pinches planets, whatever, pero you want to elevate, you want to change, you want to overcome that betrayal, that hurt, that setback. Because some of you guys, you were set back, but was it really a setback? Think about it. And if you're in the process of, oh man, I can't move, I feel in stagnation, I'm in isolation and nobody sees me, nobody, hell, for some of you guys, you're looking out the window, you can't understand why. ¿Por qué no me puedo salir? Why? And some of you fuckers could have a pinche leg monitor. And you can't. And that's okay. But instead of feeling angry, instead of feeling that hurt, that pain, because a lot of it has to do with, what are other people going to think? And it shouldn't matter. Tú, fíjate allá, God, what do you need to learn? Some of you guys could be, partying, trying to cover it. Oh, if I can't leave, pues chingue su madre, I'll be right here smoking me and doing pinche línea y vámonos. And there you are peeking out the window and it's hearing the birds chirp. But that's not healing. It could be part of your healing. Nobody's perfect. And you're here to heal on your terms, your way with God, universe. You have a choice. Do I go the wrong way? Do I go this way? Am I still going to be mad at this person, that person? And a lot of it, it starts with taking accountability on your part. And for some of you guys, you're not going to have the ability to really, like if you start to say your truth, they're not going to believe you. They're teaming up against you. Look, right away, this and then the Queen of Cups. With this, oh, la chingada, look. So you know the truth, but maybe the universe, God wants you to suppress it. To really, look, the cup, it's like going within and knowing how to love yourself. 11:11, as I said that. You know what? Yes, I could be all in my emotions, but you're gonna decide to really ground yourself and really look at the situation and really look at it. What I need to learn from it, and then fíjate, you go from the king and queen, okay, and then to another queen. And once you really go in and start to heal that inner child, and a lot of people say, "Oh, pedo, inner child." No, those people don't want to go through the process, especially if these are older people. They are not used to that. You got to understand how their parents taught them a certain way, and that's all they know. And for a lot of us, we're dealing with parents that they weren't even adults yet, and they had you. And you might say, well, man, I had it the hardest. Pues a huevo. You were the oldest. And then the youngest one, they probably got away with all kinds of shit. Or maybe you're the younger one. And you feel like the black sheep. And I don't know why you would be pissed off. If you're the black sheep and they outcasted you, they did all that stuff, and you feel like, man, I don't have a bird. And for some of you guys, you want to get back and you want to show your strength. But how do you do that when it's your inner circle? Because for some of you guys, this is your inner circle. And you still was like, bitch, give me my... Mm-hmm. And it could have been over, this is your card, like, bitch, you could be a person that likes to be, fair, balanced. Like, you don't like injustice. That's why this card, when I took it out, it was right there first. You have, if you did somebody dirty, you could be laying down, praying, finding a way to, to ask for forgiveness, and you'll take it to heart, and then you'll manifest a better things, but when it comes, for some of you guys in the past, you could have been like, fuck that. Let me see how I'm going to get this fucking person. And you knew how to handle situations, but when they're so close to you, this is crazy. Man, look, maybe I need to shuffle. And for some of you guys, it could be like that. People could be like, how come everything happens so perfect to you, Libra? Why? Bitch, I don't know. That's the way God created me, and for a lot of you guys, that's what you're saying. They're like wondering, how is it that you manifest? And this card fell out because you have love. You have love. And for a lot of you guys, you're about to have love on this journey. Because you could be this emperor or empress in this energy. But for a lot of you guys, this could be a parental figure. They don't want you to move on. They don't want to see you, fulfill your own dreams, what you want to do. And this could be father figure. Look, I do need to shuffle these. They're coming out how they're coming out. Look at this. It could be parental figures, and they want to what? They want to crush any kind of dream. They don't want you to be in this star energy. And it could be weird, man, but a lot of you guys are dealing with jealousy. If it isn't a parental figure, it's a sibling. Look, Sagittarius energy right here with the Wheel of Fortune and Libra. There you are. But if it's a sibling, that's almost like one of the, could have a parental figure that wants, they could be wondering, why you? Why Libra? And you're like, what the fuck? I'm your daughter, I'm your son, Look. The Ace of Wands, passion. And see with this right here, you have a lot of passion. There's love, but look, for I'm telling you, for some of you guys, if you're Latin, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how you could be, because for some of you guys, you could be gangster, and your parents are gangster, and they could be in the game, and they still want to hold you back. And you know how that is. Like, you want to take action. I'm chinga, let me go do my thing. But no, they don't want to, because look, for some of you guys, they don't want you to be better than them, and it sucks. But whoever is dealing with a parental figure and they're trying to hold you back, like, you're okay if you're, if you're just in estés en línea, like you're in line with what they want. But you could be in this energy where they don't want you to advance. And you could be looking like, man, if I stay here, I'm never going to come out the hood. And maybe you got other ideas, and you're blessed, and you have this ambition, this ace of pentacles. And some of you guys are going to find out that they need to have your energy around. Yeah, they need it, and you know it, and you're trying to figure out why. And then some of you guys, like, you're like, fuck, since I was little, they were doing witchcraft. Because you're the energy, you're the blood. 17. Oh, todavía no. See, I'm ahead. Look, the Two of Cups right here. And this. For some of you guys, look, you could have been rejecting a love from a particular person. Maybe 3 times they were trying to come towards you, but you know who you want to be with. Maybe your heart, your energy belongs to somebody else. And look, there was a tower moment. And this person had victory, or at least that's what they accomplished. And they put you in this energy. Look, heartbreak. So you could have been with a person that even your parents didn't want you to divorce this person. Can you imagine, my ladies, for some of you guys, if your whole family came up against you, you're the daughter, the son. And look, this tarot card came out with this Ace of Wands. And it has you all up in your head. Look, could have been working. And look, that's 3-3. So it's almost like when you go this hermit mode, you really find out why, how. And it's going to shock you, because for a lot of you guys, that betrayal, the tower moment, it was like, no, holding to your money. Well, how are you going to survive? And there's some secrets that have been hidden, and you know it. And it could be around money. Look at these 2 cards. And look, they could have used like if they put you in jail, like, I was getting, for some of you guys, they figured they could control you in that way. Oh, it won't be that bad. We just, pa que se le quite, and put him in jail. And then when he comes out, he's going to be at your mercy with all these burdens. Look, after the tower, 2 cards of walking away. But you could be the person that you walked away. You said, no, I'll let you go, with all the confusion, because you could have had, like I said, the parental figures. What are they going to think? If they think that if your parents think that you guys have, or they portray to have, the perfect family, oh, peachy, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. And for a lot of you guys, when you're carrying these burdens, and they were having fun, and look, you were having the strength. You didn't want to leash out like the beast. For a lot of you guys, at the end of the day, they showed you loyalty. 2021, that could be significant, either the year, the angel number. And look, for some of you guys, you're like, you know what? God wanted you to pick your journey, what you're destined to be. Look, and you finally let go after all these burdens. Look, you were carrying, well, they didn't want you to see, because it's hidden in there. But you released the burdens, and they didn't like it. They were partying and everything. And look, they put you in this energy, and this could be even your inner child. Like, you're so hurt that your inner child's trying to come and tell you, like, it's going to be okay, but you don't even have the trust in that. All you could remember is like, why were they fighting me if I was trying to create something new, in this Page of Wands? But you figured they would celebrate, but you could be confused. Why did they leave me out in the cold? Look, and that's just been on your mind. And it could have been somebody you were married to, somebody you had love, or for some of you guys, love. That fight was over somebody that they could have felt to temptation. And this person could have been burdened. Oh, this person is hurting me. But I don't know. That's what I'm picking up for you guys. But look, you're going to be on your journey. Some of you guys are healing. And you're taking, when it comes to this card right now, I'm picking up like you're taking whatever beliefs you had in the past, only the things that really are going to serve you. This is what I believe in myself. These traditions, you know what? I'm going to chingada. You're leaving them in the past. You're leaving them with your old tribe. Some of you guys are stepping out, moving in a different direction, and you're looking back. And for some of you guys, you're going to look back and say, you know what? Goodbye, good riddance. With the 7 of Swords, look, they could think whatever they want to think, because for some of you guys, they could have, false accusations for this and that. And for some of you guys, yeah. And you're going to probably be moving, for a lot of you guys, Libra, you could be moving towards a earth sign. And look, they're looking right here. They're like, man, I got all this money, but with who am I going to spend it? And here comes the rabbit, but the rabbit's trying to run away. Like, fuck. And look, the 10 of Cups right here, it's like when you least expect it, you could have Earth in your chart, or you could actually be going from 7 of Swords, like leaving with minimal things. Like, people are like, your parents or your family, whoever this is that was trying to hold you back, they could be like, nah, they're not going to be able to do nothing. But you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. But I heard, God provides for you. And it doesn't take, like money falling from the sky. This is the ideas that you have, the blessings, your gifts, your talents. They could have stayed with one or two, but eventually you're going to call that energy back is what I'm picking up. You know what I mean? Yes. Okay, what else? What else does he Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, anywhere in your chart? Yeah, strategy and planning. We're just going to go off of that one, they said. It says, your actions have taken you to a new phase in your spiritual evolution. Now is the time to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. And it's going to take you being brave. It's going to be you trusting even in the unknown. And yes, it could be scary as fuck. And you could be a person that you want to know the outcomes. You want to make these moves, but where God, the universe, are, position you in, that's what I'm hearing. It's strategic. You don't know. It's just going to take you following your intuition and discovering. Like a cat doesn't care if you really look at it. A cat is going to go wherever they want. Their intuition tells them. Some of you guys could be I heard the animal spirit, or you love like a cat. You come and go as you please, but that's you. And for some of you guys, you don't want to change that. Some other people wanted to control you. And maybe you got married because, your parents wanted you to marry this fulano, whatever. You're like, no, I want to discover who I am. And this is you. It's almost like I saw a mirror right here where you're looking at like, who am I, God? Who did you create me? I want to know. You're taking this chance and you're talking to God and you're using your intuition and you're releasing what no longer resonates. Put it in the comments. And look, you might be seeing it now, but look, solitude. You're embracing it. Why? Because your beliefs, some of you guys have people that are trying to control your beliefs. No, that's not going to happen, Libra. No, you can't be with this person. How? They're not going to want you. And you could be asking like, why? No, because look, you got 3 kids. Who's going to want you with 3 kids, 4 kids? Some of you guys 6. And guess what? God has somebody for you. For some of you guys, you could have had somebody that God placed in your life and you took, for granted. Some of you guys, they were taking care of, they weren't even his kids. Not all of them, but some. Not all of you guys, but for some of you guys. And that's why for a lot of you guys, your person could have been like that. You're never going to find somebody. You're going to come back. Pero no. And some of you guys don't have kids. And you could be going through somebody that maybe your parents didn't like, a certain race. But you don't care. You're going to marry somebody. You're going to be with somebody, even if it's the same race, whatever, but you're going to be with somebody that really, allows you to grow spiritually, emotionally. And this person, look, could be somebody that really brings out the best in you. For some of you, the horniness in you, like, man, you've never moved like that. For some of you guys, this person kissed you in places that, wow. And her woman, that's what they said. And look, you're breaking free. You feel like a butterfly. This person, at first you could have been like, no, there's no way. But the way, look, you could have been deceiving yourself. And you're asking God, why did you bring this person in here? And you could have, you could be feeling like the enemy, the devil said, no, you're the one that I tricked you. And you're like, no, you want answers. Because for some of you guys, and listen very close, guys, you could have been dealing with somebody, I've never done this before. Oh, shit. You need to use your intuition. Now, for some of you guys, it was true, but for some of you guys, puro pinche pedo. And you didn't fall for it, and you're going to get rewarded. If they tricked you, you're going to get rewarded. And for the ones that you had compassion and love, you didn't want to hurt a person. Because for some of you guys, if that was a tower moment, we've seen it a couple of times. So you were dealing with somebody that didn't close out a cycle in a loving way. Now, I know, we all know that it could be hurtful and separation could be hurtful. But for the ones that had compassion and love, that was trying to do everything correctly, and they betrayed you and they teamed up and they left you with the 5 of Pentacles for nothing. They just felt deceptive. Why did I trust you, God? Why? They hurt me. That was part of your test, or it is part of your test. They want you to release. And in this solitude, what is the owl? Knowledge. You're going to gain knowledge, wisdom. And look, because you trust in God. And a lot of you guys, your solitude, you being celibate, like where you're not going to mingle with other people, you're going to realize after a couple of years, you're realizing why. And I just picked up this download right here. It's almost like God is cleansing you. Because energetically, when you deal with a person sexually, you're picking up on their energy and the persons they were with, and you're clean. God is cleaning you. You're going to get a reward, big time. Mm-hmm. And here's the wisdom. So a lot of you guys, this is something that is coming, and it's going to be a surprise. You just got to hang in there. You got to be positive. You saw the positive, like, who cares what anybody thinks? And a lot of you guys, you're being tested, like, big time. Yes. Mm-hmm. Are you going to leave? For sure. Because look, if you leave, look what's coming. It's like you walk straight into your blessing and the world. And they're saying again, the way you close out a cycle, because some of you guys could be in a position where, men or with the woman right now, you could be in zero contact and you could be mentally going through it like, why? And you already know why. But that's kind of a demonic way is what I'm hearing. For some of you guys, you had to, but for a lot of you guys, they could have done spell work and then to obtain you, to kind of control you. And then they wonder why you went crazy. But they don't want to say that, oh, well, I was doing magic on them, and stuff like that. But God knows, God's seen, and that's why, no, you don't have to seek revenge. Mm-hmm. Look, the Sun with the Hermit and the Lover. So for some of you guys, look, they could have been jealous because the truth is, you told them. I don't know. I just feel like I don't love you. You could fall out of love, and people, when they're not emotionally, they don't have emotional intelligence. They don't have control, and a lot of you guys, including me, we had to learn, how to deal with emotions a little bit later than others, and some of you guys could have been. You were never put in that position, even though you went through hardships. Even though you went through hardships, there was something that it was just like it could have shocked you. And family betrayal, believe it or not, that's one of the hardest things to deal with. People don't realize how hard it is unless they're in your shoes. Unless they're in your shoes, but look. And the thing is, look, if it was you were dealing with a fire sign, they were looking and deceiving you when you were going through it. They could have even tried to set you up, but they're under judgment. And it's with the Chariot. I mean, it's coming in quick, and a lot of people see them, but you don't want that for them. You want to move forward. You want to be in this energy, looking at things from a higher perspective. You know what? Even though I had to leave with a little bit, the dog's like, man, are you sure? Yeah, fuck, we had AC over here. Could be like my dog over here. We had AC and everything. I mean, are you sure you want to leave? Bitch, yes. Quédate ya. No. And see, you got the devil right here. So for a lot of you guys, you're not trusting any negative energies. Mm-hmm. You're focused on your passion, and maybe you taking a little extra time. Some of you guys had to completely change your career, and you might be just taking your time, but do it with passion, with love, with excitement. You're not in a rush. Look, the Tower and this, some of you guys could be trying to give up. And I know you ain't trying to go back. You came this far. I'm going to say bitch, but I'm trying to watch my language. Right? The Tower moment, look. And some of you guys, you're like, fuck, I used to handle the pinche Tower moments like nothing. And look, 7 and 13, that's 4. It's like July the 4th, pinche fireworks everywhere. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to put it in my past. And you're doing good because you leaving this in the past. Look, Aces, you have a lot of blessings. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If it's not you, it could be for the cross-watcher. Whoever you did wrong. It is what it is. So that's what I got for you, Libra. Infinite Tarot 888. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment.